Welcome back, everybody, to our collective energy update for energetically sensitives and empaths for the week of 23rd of February till 1st of March. My name is Jona Bryndis, and I am your energy coach and energy healer here. And as always, the reason why I'm doing this live is to be there for your questions or comments. So please use this opportunity here to ask questions. Thank you for being here. We have a delay here at YouTube, as you know, so it takes a little till I actually see who's there. Thank you for watching. All right. I hope last week was okay for you. I've had quite diverse reactions, if you want to call it this way, working with energetically sensitives and empaths from all over the world. As you know, these forecasts or energy updates are being created through public energy sessions and personal energy coaching sessions that we have here at transCODES with like hundreds of people every week. And so it gives me sort of a predictive idea of what people are going through all over the world. And some of us were actually able to go into really cool place of finding closure, or at least beginning sort of a new cycle. This is something that I've been announcing for weeks now, because this is sort of where we are headed here for the next coming months. And as March is already starting to influence our energies right now, all I can really say at this point is depending on how you perceive these past couple of weeks, which may have worn on your immune system, which may have kept you in this place of like, this is dragging along, it feels like molasses, then know that starting by the beginning of next weekend, you're going to feel a lot more sort of vitality come in. And this is what I want to talk to you about today, because there are some things that we still need to refine a bit, and we need to really watch some of the extremes of what we're going through right now. So if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, yes, you're not alone. Welcome to the club. This is one of the phrases that I heard the most last week. Yes, hello South Africa. Cool to see where you guys are from. Yes, you had a week of flu, as so many as we ourselves here. It's hard to imagine what life is like when you're not sick, or when you're not dealing with some kind of outer things that are constantly wearing you down. I've had this fantasy this weekend. It's so difficult to imagine yourselves in a bikini when it's snowing outside, and not that I want you to go there in your mind right now. And South Africa doesn't really have this problem, but those of you who live in colder climates like we do, you know, it can get depressing, you know, around this time of the year, simply because there's no end in sight. And we need some kind of escape strategy. So I'm planning my next stay in Florida. Probably the next energy update will be from a warmer climate. Yes, so wonderful to have you guys all here. And Finland is snowy as well. Yes, so you know what I'm talking about. This is going to stay like this till May, so I may as well give myself a break. And this is kind of like the energy of this week that we're looking at. You know, you've got to allow yourself to take a break, and especially slow down. So there are some aspects with pace that I would like to address here. And what is going on, as I've announced on many different occasions, is that there's a refinement process going. So refinement is a little different from correction. You know, correction is like this time where we feel forced to clear out things. You know, maybe in a 3-4 weeks you get there, where you have this feeling of spring cleaning, and you really need to get rid of stuff. Refinement is like more the art of of discerning, you know, of like, you know, I'm dealing with this every day. You know, is this really needed? Do I really need this? You know, is the place that I'm living in really the place that I want to be? This doesn't always mean that you're gonna decide to move away or change the job or anything. So this would be more the characteristics of a correction phase. And a refinement phase, it's more like, you know, going back inside, checking in with your core values, and, you know, like not getting too hyped up about the fantasy or the imagination of if I only had. So if I only had, okay, when this crosses your mind, then you can be sure that you are sort of steering into a blind spot, or that you imprisoned or confined or limited by your ego's perception. If I only had is not a realistic view of dealing with your conditions, your circumstances. It's an escape route, so to speak, a cop out. Okay, so you got to catch yourself there, because this is especially for this coming week, probably one of the biggest dangers here is that we go a little too extreme in things. We're still under the influence, and this will continue almost all year actually, but right now in particular, of making the unconscious conscious. So a lot of us, you know, are exploring our deeper spiritual nature, which is a very beautiful process. But it can also lead to extremes. It can lead to getting pulled into mysticism and too much, you know, in trying to disconnect from the world, trying to disconnect from the physical too much. And so you got to be a little careful here to not fall for your ego traps, to not fall for your, you know, fantasy world, especially in regards to other people, because relationships are coming in very strongly for this next week. We have to really learn how to deal with our patterns and not just try to escape them by, like, you know, they're not getting it, or, you know, just pulling it all away. We got to deal with things, and this refinement that I mentioned is an important part of growth. All right, this is, you know, where things happen. So even though this will feel like a bit of a downer this week, okay, it is the place where you grow. And I want you to have this sentence here reverberate in your entire energy system, and that is, every time I let go, I grow. So the task for next week is to not fall for the extremes, is to not go into your escape routes, but to stay present. It is okay to explore your true values, your true needs, who you truly are, and what you stand for, because you're going to need that in March. All right, and the more you do this now, the more fortunate and the more inspirational, especially the first 2 weeks of March, are going to be for you. Many people are very, very close to getting into the next stage of relationship, to move on to the next level, to get deeper, to experience what deep love, deep unconditional love means. So there's something very beautiful, you know, ahead of you that you can only really consciously work with, if this is your alignment, of course. We're talking here about people who are awakening. So your goal, your intention is to be fully present, is to be part of what is going on. So if you are sick and tired of your old patterns, if you're sick and tired of getting pulled in to the old that doesn't work for you anymore, then this is a week here where you can set very, very cool new directions for this entire year. Yes, I know, I'm with you guys. The flu and the, you know, just coughing and whatnot. Lots of people had skin irritations this week, guys. Very, very weird things coming with this flu and this rotavirus here. Don't be alarmed, okay? This is not unusual. This has to do with the seventh chakra that is really beginning to open right now. It's very common to have issues with your hair, with your eyes, with your ears, with your skin, all right? Because this affects your entire nervous system. And I've talked about this in the past a lot, you know, how you can use your nervous system, you know, to actually get out of these reactionary patterns and not to get caught in them even more. There is also a counter mechanism in you, and that is, as I've educated you guys in my blog for years, there's the vagus nerve that runs through your system that is, for many, actually regarded to be sort of the true wiring as spiritual beings. And your vagus nerve can help you with counteracting some of these symptoms that you see here on the screen of the seventh chakra, of crown opening, of us opening to our higher consciousness. So these physical symptoms that many of you experience right now have to do with your cellular structure changing. And if you can work your energies, if you know how to do energy management, okay, if you know how to ground yourself, how to center yourself, and how to clear yourself, and at the same time how to slow down your system and how to allow this vagus nerve, your parasympathicus, to take over and, you know, slow down some of the neurotransmitters that get you into this worn out, into this stressful state all the time, then you can be on a very good path of self-mastery. This week, guys, we have very soon, coming up tomorrow night at 10 p.m., the free True Self session. If you've never experienced an energy session, an energy training session as we call it, come to this free session tomorrow night. It is the beginning and the end of your journey, you know, the learning how to connect within and really feeling, internalizing, you know, firsthand what this part in you, this, I don't even want to call it spiritual part, it is more your energetic being, you know, that is always connected to your spiritual being. What this can do for you, how this can provide you with inner knowing, with inner guidance, and also with precognition, you know, as to like where you need to go, what the future stores for you, you know, what your true purpose is. All this is a continual process. So part of this phase that we're having right now is also to accept that this is more like a marathon rather than like a sprint. So you got to pace this out a bit, because otherwise you're going to run into severe issues with growth. You're going to run into people getting into conflicts with you, thinking that you're going overboard with things, that you're infringing maybe, or that you're just simply a nut job. So you got to pace this out and bring this into the physical, continually integrating that into the physical. So this is what self-mastery is all about. And at this point, I want to remind everyone that we have a personalized self-mastery program here at transCODES, where just like a personal trainer in the gym, we take you aside for 3 months. We call this the boot camp, and work with you through your blind spots, through your patterns that are invisible for you, that are unconscious for you. It's a really intense program, so you don't just have to do it this way, but it is something that we've started doing a couple of years back when people ask us, well, give me a roadmap, tell me what to do. We don't tell people what to do. We want people to learn how to feel, how to listen to their inner guidance, how to manage their energies better. But sometimes it can help to set a time aside, 90 days, and say, I'm devoting this time here to breaking through some of these invisible things, some of these imprisonments that I have. And this boot camp starts on the 1st of March. So if this is something that you've been considering, and if you were like literally sick and tired of being sick and tired, consider this. Of course, we also have the constant energy training sessions going on here, and we've created a whole program, the Sacred Self-Healing program, around this. And those of you in the Sacred Self-Healing community will be very happy to hear that we're releasing the next module for the Sacred Self-Healing program probably tomorrow. So this weekend, you're going to be busy energy managing. And for those of you who want to really train this and experience energy work in action, and how some of these maybe for you still unknown aspects of your energy, how they can be decoded, then consider to come to the energetic adjustment session. The keyword is devotion, and we're going to be working on clearing out some of the misconceptions of relationship related dedication of our energies, and how true love doesn't mean sacrificing myself, and really working on these boundaries. So this is a very unique session. I only do these once a month. I channel all the collective energies at a time, help your energy system to adjust to the next 4 to 6 weeks, and then we have a live webinar right afterwards discussing our experiences and what they mean and how we can contextualize them. Yes, sorry for talking so much about transcodes here today, but in these refinement and learning times like this, it's very important that you know that there are places and communities where you can go to exchange and find new approaches of dealing with things. This last week, we unfortunately had, I mentioned this in last energy updates, this energy of violated femininity, the protectiveness of our children and our family values, come up very strong. And I'm actually very proud to see that this tragic school shooting that we had here in the United States, that this was not just sucked up by the media and forgotten about. There's actually kids now standing up, and there's a huge discussion here going on about gun laws and so forth, and understand that this is an issue that goes much deeper. It's not about guns, it's not about that. It's about, the respect that we as a society need to implement, need to really integrate into our laws, but also into the way we protect our families and our children. So this was or is, a part of our collective task here, to find the right boundaries and to begin to work in a more synergistic, in a more collaborative way on these larger societal issues. All right, so it's not about the school shooting. This is about something else. This is about really going back to the core values of what defines us as humans. And a lot of that has to do with working together and how we can protect, these weaker links, these weaker parts of our society. And, we've lost those tribal ways of living. But if you look back in history, then you will find that there was a lot less violence and a lot less violation of these core values when we still lived in these more collaborative units. Okay, and because our life today doesn't really lend itself to it anymore, in times of internet and world travel, space travel even, we don't live that close together anymore, and so we have to find new ways of creating that energy of units, of communities, So I strongly recommend you for the next week that you don't get pulled too much into this polarized way of like my team, your team. Okay, this is all about, you know, you finding your place here in the collective, you know, piercing through some of the matrix programming or some of the collective unconscious, but at the same time still seeing yourself as part of it and moving forward, finding ways for yourself to implement these things in the physical. You can't just dream off, you know, into this world where we all hold hands and sing Kumbaya and everything is fine. No, this is not realistic. So this week here, watch this. Yes. It's so cool to have you guys here. It makes me feel supported, just so you know. And if you haven't done so, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. Guys, I only have like 500 or 600 subscribers. That's nothing compared to the number of people who actually watch these updates. So please help me spread those videos. All right. Anyway, coming to the energy tip here for the next week, divided into these different layers of our integration. Physically, yes, you've got to focus on what can make you feel stronger, what can make you feel or enables you to deal with those physical stress symptoms a little better. I strongly recommend you to slow down this week, even if you feel like you've already done that. However, there's this danger, and this is with every of the layers here next week. Do not indulge too much into it, okay? Do not disconnect. Do not isolate, all right? It is okay to go in and ask yourself, what do I need, you know, to make myself feel stronger right now? But it will also require you to express those needs, and that's the emotional realm here that will be very active for next week for most of us, namely to really go into this place and reflect a little bit on how you're dealing with your needs and your unmet needs, and to become better at expressing that. You will probably feel this actually through the people around you, because you will feel them to be obnoxious or to be even childish in their expressions or in their you know, behaviors. And so take this, reflect this back to you, okay? Everything that rubs you the wrong way in other persons is an indicator as to what is unresolved in you. And it may actually help you to get past these invisible patterns, these blind spots, all right? Mentally, next week will be challenging in the sense that we will try to find the escape in all these opinions and all these you know, like polarized views of things, you know, and in absolutism, you know, like to say, well, there's only one way, you know, and everybody else who's not going that way, you know, is against me. Please remember, self-mastery, refinement, collaboration, all has to do with the mutual exchange with others, okay? So it can't be, I'm just saying it that way, it can't be that there's only one way, only your way, okay? This is not realistic. So you've got to go into this place where you allow mutual respect and don't necessarily see things that are for somebody else, that they're, you know, directed against you, and vice versa. Just because I'm doing this right now for me doesn't mean it's against you. So watch out here where your mind and your inner critical voice takes things next week, okay? There's a danger of going into extremes. And spiritually, I actually see a huge danger, you know, not just in the next week, but this is coming forward now, for people to seek these extreme, almost cult-like communities, you know, where there's this like our way or the highway, you know. So this is all the same energy, as you can see, and it's all about boundaries. It's all about really feeling into what presents or what represents who you truly are. If things go into this this extreme of escapism or denying or negating everything on the outside, or fixating on one particular practice to get somewhere, then let me tell you guys, as you know, a spiritual counselor and energy coach, that you are off on the wrong tangent. And there is, you know, there are a lot of movements now, you know, because people have this need to belong and this need to feel like they're part of a community, to come up with these like really twisted and weird practices, some of which involve sexual practices masked as a spiritual awakening or ascension or growth. Please be advised that whenever you know, I said earlier, when you grow when you let go, but letting go more in the sense of letting go the absolutes, letting go of your, you know, of the things that you already know keep you imprisoned, okay? But that, you know, as you explore new worlds, as you explore your own spirituality, don't get caught in these routes that present absolutism in a different way, in just sort of a different variation of it. Strong warning here, guys. And energetically, what I really want to stretch out here is that, you know, when you explore energy work and when you begin to feel more confident with reading your own energies, reading other energies, refrain from trying to convince everybody, okay? Refrain from this sort of projecting out that you are you know, seeing energy so that you can see deeper. This may be the case, but it can be very infringing, you know, if you let everybody else know that you are the only one, you know, who knows the real deal. Okay, so I have to like reflect on that every day, you know, working with these deeper energies, you know, to not come across as, you know, someone who's got it all figured out. Just like you know, I'm working on these boundaries every day. But in regards to interacting with other people, remember that they are true selves as well. And that everybody has their own pace, everybody has their own timeline, everybody has the right to be where they're at. So for you, you know, for the next week, if this is something that comes up for you, remind yourself to see the other person based on where they're at. You know, like see them with their limitations, if you will, you know, accept limitations and just pick them up where they're at. Just as much as you would like to be picked up where you are at. Now that you know all these things, you also know, you know, how your ego perception can sometimes trick you. So allow other people the same mistakes, you know, and admit to your mistakes. That's a good practice for this week, is admit to your mistakes. All right, everyone. This concludes what I wanted to share with you here for this coming week. I hope you have a good transition. There are some really cool comments. Thank you all for chiming in. But nobody seems to have a question. Yes. All right. Guys, see you here next week. Subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in how all this translates into the crypto world, then watch me here in half an hour translating or transcoding all this information into the financial and crypto world that, as you know, I look at as the outer reflection of some of the collective evolution that is going on. All right, here's a quick question. Do I have to re-register for the upcoming True Self transmission? Yes, you can participate in the free True Self energy training session that we have monthly as many times as you want to, but you have to re-register for it. It keeps a separate list for every month. All right, so please go to transcodes.com, front page, click the register button where you see the True Self session, and sign in. This is an energy training session, which means I'll be sitting on the other end of it and watch your energy responding, you know, and I will also, as always, coach or do energy coaching in the forum afterwards, where you can ask about your own energies or share or comment on, you know, how this translated for you personally. Yes. Wonderful. Thank you guys for your support. I hope to see you in 30 minutes here for the Crypto Spiritual Weekly or next week. Bye-bye, everyone.